Thanks. Next thing on the agenda is the end of the year finance report.
Yeah.
End of the year.
No, that's it. It says a lot. Is that better? The end of the year report, if you have some questions, ask Donna, we can give you, we still have to reconcile with the county, but we're looking at approximately returning to the county after paying these bills, approximately $500,000. Of that $500,000, about 320-some thousand was revenues that we did not expect this year, and Donna brought those to my attention. I talked to Mr. Perrier about it some. We talked to our staff about it briefly, and we feel like the number one priority in this county, we weren't expecting these funds to begin with, so we felt like the number one priority is the new consolidated high school. And since the money that we give back goes to the capital fund for schools, we weren't going to spend the money frivolously. So the remaining amount of that money was just money that we did not spend. So what, approximately $200,000, right? Which is pretty good when you're looking at $44 million. And when you're looking at state money that's not consistent and other revenues that's not consistent. So I think Donna did an excellent job managing the money through the last half of the year and scrutinizing every penny as we move forward. And I look forward to her putting in her purchasing procedures with our new software and doing an excellent job for years to come. So that's all I have at this point. Any questions?
The next thing on the agenda is the signal organization.
Wait a minute, I'm not finished yet.
Oh, you got to
go pretty quick, yeah. Let me add,
I just need to ask you, did we go over in that one line item?
Yes, sir, we did $22,181.84.
Okay.
I don't like ringing. I don't like ringing. I don't ever want to ring. I don't.
You should have got a copy of what Robert sent. Robert sent a letter to Glenn Barber.
He just sent it about 5:39. I just
Okay.
got it. So on the way here, it came on my phone, so I don't think everyone's had a chance to see it.
Okay. Well, the letter that went to Glenn Barber, basically, we also had a sale in maintenance and transportation where we received revenue of about $24,000. Is that correct, Donna? And so we've asked them to appropriate that money to cover the $22,181 instead of transferring any money out of any other account.
What was their sale?
We had the bus stop, and the buses and desks and different things.
That's the last sale we had? Okay. So we didn't sell we hadn't done anything about Buckhorn, right? We're not selling anything at Buckhorn?
No, we moved the desks and stuff. The desks that were there in pretty good shape.
So
They've been stored as far as I know.
we decided to leave all the mobile units there and all the kitchen equipment?
No, Wade's getting together with for the mobile units and is doing a sale of those. Though I sent an email to Wayne Carter and asked him what he wanted us to do, whether we should sell the mobile units or did they want to take care of that process.
As far as the so-called overspend in the account, is that a normal procedure? We can always transfer funds from one.
Categorical transfers, yes, it is. It was done in almost every category the first year I was here. Last year, we didn't have to do it in any category. of any categories it normally would happen would be maintenance or transportation, because they're the most volatile. You don't know what's going to happen or what's going to blow up in maintenance. You don't know what's going to happen with transportation and fuel. And actually, we actually bought this year, which we didn't expect. We bought an updated, I don't even know what it is, devices for the communication for all of the buses that we paid through maintenance. And I believe that was around $80,000.
That was the radio system.
The radio system, yeah, that's it. Early in the year that we were mandated to do.
One other question. We didn't, our fuel tanks are probably not full then right now, are they? Because if we had, we would have always spent maintenance and operations even more than the 22,000. Even though we're sending money back. I know one year we had money left over. That was the year that we hired the energy consultants. That June, before the energy people came, we filled all of our tanks and spent around $400,000 filling our tanks. So the point I'm getting at is if we had had money left over, could we have filled our tanks, or would have run us over the budget in that category even more?
It would have run us over, I think, to fill our tanks. I am not aware that there are empty tanks
Well, I'm not talking about empty.
at the schools. We have used all of our minted fuel.
Right.
So everything that we had to do after that, we were having to go through the procurement procedures, get the bids, and buy from there. So we bought several loads in May, I think was the last fuel purchases.
Right. But what I was getting at was to get a true energy cost, when we started out with our tanks full, we would have to fill them every June to come out with a true energy cost every year. And if we didn't fill them, top all of them off in June this year, when we get our energy report, it's not going to be factual. I'm just making a point. Thank you.
Anything else?
They're supposed to account for it. They're supposed to have measured the tanks, so we'll see. Supposed to. We'll see. You can ask that question.
I have a question. I think it's important that the money that we have left over is going to the capital improvements. My question is, when did we know that we would have these funds not spent?
I have been estimating along since March, but in those estimations is quite a bit of carryover payroll. I have the actual final payroll figures about the 21st of this month. I had estimated. The beginning of the month, I was pretty confident, but not confident enough that I wanted to go crazy. Just because that was my first year in doing the estimates and did not want to oversee. So I would say mid-June.
So by you starting the year, this coming year, you think you'd be able to estimate a little bit earlier next year?
Well, I think I'll be more confident in my estimates. I mean, I had estimated early, but it was the first year I had done it. I was not 100% confident that I was on the spot. After this year, I will be confident because it ended up that I was pretty accurate. It just made me very nervous when we started talking about spending another $200,000, and I'm thinking, well, what if we go up? That's where I was.
What was the 324 that we found that just came in that we wasn't expecting?
Well, it was different things.
Okay, I mean, if it's, I thought maybe it was one item.
ROTC money, we had 100,000 over in some rebates and refund monies. Our Medicaid collections were over about $50,000. Our non-resident tuition was over $55,000.
Thank you very much.
I don't have anything else.
Any other questions in reference to finance? Dr. Thorne, you also got talked about the signatures.
Yeah. We do signature authorization in January of each year, but due to the turnover, I'm recommending, Ms. Rogers already won, but I'm recommending that Dr. Hackney and Ms. Somerville act as designees to sign in my absence. And what it also does is authorize them to sign the different grants that we do, and to sign for each other, the state reports and Omega and stuff. So basically, you're taking John Keeler off and you're adding Melody Hackney and Christy Somerville.
Any discussion? Okay, we have a motion that we approve the personnel action. All in favor? Any opposed? And the next thing on the agenda is paying the payment of bills. And this will be for the year end, Dr. Thornton?
Yes.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Well, in this case, maybe I'm wrong. Was there someone to review the bills like we normally do?
No,
Not the year end bills.
Okay.
These aren't the year end, these are the month.
This is the
Yes, this is the last.
The last one.
The year, the year at the end of the year.
Okay.
This is the,
So, I did have one. We pay for uniforms and instruction. These are uniforms that they've had at Bluestone, that people were wondering how they were gonna be paid for. Because I've got several questions on that.
Are they football,
Yeah.
are they football uniforms? What page are you on, do you know?
It was under instruction, I thought I'd find it.
How about that?
It was. Was it under instruction?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Downtown athletics,
Yeah,
football uniforms, yes, those are the Bluestone uniforms.
okay, because I've gotten several phone calls, people wondering how they were gonna be paid for, so.
I guess if they go through the proper chain of command and ask their principal and then ask me if they don't understand, I agreed to pay for the uniforms and all the athletic line items, coaches' salaries and other equipment we buy comes out of instruction. So,
And the exercise equipment also, that's Bluestone, or is that
That's-
both schools?
that's Bluestone as well. It's aerobic stuff for PE class, because all they have is, what do you call it, free weights, and they want some more aerobic stuff to be more conducive to some of our young ladies.
Oh,
Okay. Any more questions in reference to handing the bills?
I have a question. I apologize to the board for missing last month's meeting. I had a family obligation, and this may have come up last month. And I think an answer was given. This is in reference to a consultative fee with our Ms. Hackney.
Dr. Hackney?
I understand she has a background with PBL. And with her strong background, this county will benefit. The question I have, maybe, I'm thinking if we hired her it would have gone over better for that fee not to be charged. I know we can't ask for anything, but, here's the but. It does look a little bad that the person that we hired is going to charge us for that fee. Dr. Hackney, Melody Hackney, Miss Hackney, it does look a little bad. We can't do anything about it now. But I just wanted to make a point of saying that. I know she's good. I've known her for years. But for a consultant fee to be paid, I wish it could have been some dialogue about it prior to.
Dr. Hackney don't come to work for us until July 1st, and she's still working for Charlotte County. She was consultant to us, and she came and she's training our people before school opened. If not, she would have to do it once she came into our system. Is that right, Dr. Thorne?
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked her to come, if she could, and get off time from Charlotte was that we had extensive training with a large amount of our staff over the last 2 weeks. Then we had our retreat. She also conducted an instructional retreat with our instructional people so that we could move forward with our plans. And we just had a retreat for the administration last week that went very well and really set our focus to where we're going. And now the work happens the rest of the summer in those individual schools and departments as we move forward. A lot of people think we're off in the summer and vacationing in the summer, but actually there's a tremendous amount of work that is done to plan and open up for the next year.
So, Mr. Bullock, what you're saying, or what you just said was, we can pay for that service now before she gets here, yet we could have waited when she came in.
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said we want our people ready when she come in. She's coming here on July the 1st. School opened in August. We want the staff trained before August. Dr. Thorne, if you had brought in a consultant, what would have been the cost?
Well, the alternative would have been to not do the training until she was here,
Right.
and then pay all the teachers that were being trained to come in the summer.
Exactly.
If it didn't conflict with all of their vacations, et cetera, et cetera. That is kind of the weak part of public education, which is why we implemented our new schedule too, so that we would have time to do more planning and more professional development with our teachers while we have them here. It's very hard to coordinate summer schedules. It was hard just to get the 8 teachers last year a common 2-week period that they could come in for training.
But didn't we have a gentleman come in?
Yes, he was doing leadership training with all of our
I was thinking.
instructional coaches, assistant principals, et cetera. Right. And you could argue that point too, that why are we paying him and why aren't you guys doing all that? It's often good to have eyes from the outside and a different voice from the outside, examining the situation and sharing, and it's just good professional development. What we did with Melody Hackney is very common. In fact, I believe, could be wrong, I don't want to misstate anything, I believe Charlotte County, when she left here, paid her when she came early over there.
I didn't realize we had another payment on me this month. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was just.
Another 2,100. And another question, Region 8 educational, the $3,900, what was that for? I don't, check number 47102,
Under instruction.
Region 8 educational.
$3,980.
That's it. It's about almost at the bottom of the first page.
I don't see the rest of that, though.
It's United Streaming.
Oh, it's video streaming.
There's two pages, one in the primary and secondary.
Okay, that confused me too. The Region 8, what the Region 8 is, there's United Video Streaming, the benchmarking, I think you asked about at the last meeting. All that is done at a group rate through Region 8, and then they bill us separately.
So they rebate us that, or it comes out of our,
No, we pay for that, but we get a reduced fee by being part of the Region 8 to get that product, is why it says Region 8.
all right.
Any other questions? Reference to finance? Paying the bills? Can I have a motion to pay the bills?
We've already made the motion in a second.
Okay, that's right. All in favor? All opposed?
Abstain.
Okay. And the next thing on the agenda is the signatures. That we suspend motion, and the waiver, suspend the waiver that the school board approved, suspend the waiver 1-5.4 to vote on the superintendent's signature authorization and division of the absent Dr. Thornton. And that, indeed with Ms. Rogers. And you see the names down here since Dr. Keller left, to be one new person, be Dr. Hackney. Can we have a motion?
And Christie Summerfield.
Yeah, Chris Summerfield.
So moved.
A second. All in favor? All opposed?
I'm for it.
Abstain.
Now you have to actually vote on it.
And at this time, you have a motion that we approve the signature changes. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Anything else?
Yes. Mr. Bullock. Is related to the bills. Our chairman discussed last week, I guess, a formation of a finance committee. And because it was discussed, it was brought up, I think I should have an opportunity to talk about it.
Can we discuss that at our next board meeting? Because this meeting today is strictly for the finances and things of this nature, so.
This is a finance issue
Well, we can discuss that at our next board meeting. We'll put it on the agenda for our next board meeting.
that we're going to discuss formation of a finance
Because we
committee.
actually disapproved it. Yeah, we voted on it, approved, disapproved.
So are we not going to put it on next month?
If it's been disapproved, we're not going, there's no point in bringing it back up.
Well, the motion that was made at the last meeting is not the same motion that I would like to bring up. So do we talk about it next month?
Well, you can submit your request to the superintendent, as we had stated before, to see if we need to have a.
Would you like it on the agenda for next month?
Yes.
Miss,
Did we get the letter from the attorney that I asked for with his signature on it stating that our policy to go through the chairman was the way we were going to do this?
I could answer. We do not have a written letter from him. I talked with him, the board chair talked with him, and what I told him from your recommendation, or your concern, was that it would be done publicly and like we did at the last meeting. And he said that is completely fine, and that we don't need a policy. That last month, what Dale had brought up the previous month, we voted on. We made a motion, we voted on those items.
I'm talking about, we don't have a policy. We have a recommendation that was brought to us meeting before last, that anytime we wanted any information or anything put on the agenda, we would go to our chairman. He would discuss it with the school board, and if the majority agreed, then we would talk about it. If they didn't, we would not talk about it. I would like that in writing from our school board attorney with the chairman's signature on the bottom, stating those facts. That will make it legal, and we will make it a policy at that point, or we won't. But just us sitting here talking about it, I learned something in 10 years. Unless we vote on something, it is not legal, it is just hearsay. And I want that in writing from our school board attorney with the chairman's name on the bottom. And then it'll go away or it won't go away. But I just need to get this cleared up once and for all. I really don't think that I was elected to have to ask somebody, can I ask a question of, if my constituents want to know something and they send me to ask a question, I don't think I should have to go through the chairman and go through a chain of command to get answers from my constituents. And I don't think the state law will uphold that. That's the reason I want it in writing with a signature from the school board chairman.
I'd like to, make it clear too. I think there was a lot of misunderstanding about it. I think any one of us, I've gotten lots of information from Dr. Thornton before. Just pick up the phone and call and get information. I think what this is about is each one of us, if all 9 of us have something we want done, that takes a lot of time. We should talk about it in open session, get a consensus, and then decide whether we want to direct Dr. Thornton to do it. Because he works for the board, not each individual one of us. I think any one of us can get information from him at all times. And if you want information for your constituents, either you can research it or call Dr. Thornton and ask him what answer you want. But I'm talking about major jobs. We talk about it in open session, take a vote on it if we want to direct Dr. Thornton to do it. He can't do 9 people's work.
I've never asked when I ask him, I usually get something.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about asking him. My hands have never been tied that when I needed information from accounting or anybody else that I couldn't get it. Now we are changing that procedure, and we have to go through the school board chairman.
That's what the
That's
letter
the reason I
said.
want it in writing. Give it to me in writing, and we'll be clarified.
Why don't we actually bring Brad to the
That'd be good.
to the
That'd
next,
be good.
to the
I'd be
next
wonderful.
meeting? How about
And
that?
tell him to bring a pen and a piece of paper with him. I want his signature.
Is there anything else? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor? All in favor?